Good night, good night, good night, blessings. Okay, good. My cousin in the chat, Ollie. Blessings, welcome, my cousin. Okay, good. Blessings, welcome to another episode of the All Over It podcast today, March 2nd. We are already in March 2nd, 2026. Yeah. Today, episode 44. Automate or stay busy. I know if you see the little picture on the flyer, the guy busy, up and down, papers flying. Yeah. We ain't want to be like that guy, right? Yeah. But yeah, welcome back, my people. Love alone. Appreciate the love and support. As I always say, keeping the consistency, keeping the momentum going. We're keeping it going. Episode 44 and a lot more to go. Yeah. I'm not right. Just letting you know. Anyways, yeah, man, welcome to another one. Tell a friend to tell a friend if you feel this content or these topics is good content, valuable content, things that you want to hear, you feel people should hear about. Tell them, share it, like, comment, subscribe, all of that social media stuff. Yeah. Give comments. I want to hear you. So let me know who they are watching. Let me know where you're watching from, all that good stuff. But yeah, I ain't wasting no time. I come here to waste your time at all. And yeah, we here talking about automation. Last week, I show ChatGPT from scratch. I pull up demonstration, full visual, show you signing up, opening ChatGPT from when you never even touch it. And I even give you some professional tips on how you could personalize your ChatGPT. Make it your ghostwriter. Yeah, give it a name and all. So, like I always say, I come here with value for you, and tonight is no different. So tonight we leveling up. Last week was started from scratch. Today we're moving up. So to basically give a little explanation, consider like ChatGPT or whatever other AI LLM, which is language learning model. The ChatGPT, the AI is like the brain, the brain that knows what to do, how you want to do it, and so on. Now, the automations is the nervous system, meaning without a brain without systems ain't working. You need the arms, you need the legs, you need your systems to actually get the work done. The brain is where everything to start, but you need some way to get the work done. So yeah, the brain plus the automation, that's where you get leverage. Check. Like I say, I can dive right in and let me pull up my screen. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, good. Over hills and valleys too. Anyways, so let's start with what is a automation. Let me zoom in a little bit. Good. So, what is automation? Automation is the use of technology, software, and machinery to perform tasks, processes, or procedures with minimal or no human intervention. By automating repetitive or complex actions, ranging from manufacturing assembly lines to software data entry, business increase efficiency, reduce costs, and minimize human error. Good. So this basically saying when you automate tasks, it helps you to reduce your costs. It minimize the errors involved. Maybe, you know, you might be tired, so maybe you might do something not how you intended to, so you minimize those human errors and you just increase your efficiency, meaning you get things done faster, more smoother, more clearer, and that goes with business, with personal, with anything. So think on anything you just do that you have to do all the time, whether it be work, whether it be personal, whether it be if you have your own side business or on full-time business, whatever it be. This is helpful for anyone, because like I say, repetitive, complex things that you don't want to have to be doing all the time, you could lighten your load by doing these things. So yeah, like I say, the purpose is to streamline workflow, improve precision, and free up human resources for higher value activities. So meaning, think on it like this. Maybe you, like I say, either employee or you have your own business and you spend a lot of time answering emails and maybe answering customer questions and things like that. You could use an automation, especially for the emails, you know, automatic response or even different things. We're going to dive into all that right now. So, last week's episode, I spoke about this website, make.com. And I would say make.com is one of the most user friendly automation tools. And it's fully free, basically. Check. Of course, it has other higher tier paid versions, but as you can see in the top right corner, it says get started free. Good. So, as it says, AI automation, you can visually build and orchestrate in real time. Make brings no code automation and AI agents into one visual first platform so you can build with speed and scale with control. So what it's saying is this website make allows you to automate without having to do any code, without having to be technical or any of these different things. Check. So with Make is beginner friendly. It's very visual. So when you come on this page, this is their home page. This is the first landing page before you log in. And of course, you can scroll down. They have different information about the services and features that they offer. You know, bill and ship fast. This isn't only for people who are technical. It could work for a lot of different things. So maybe you work in finance. They have ways to solve finance complexities by integrating multiple apps. You have sales. If you maybe selling things to people, you have ways you can automate your sales. Or maybe you have a team of people working with you and you need to drive productivity. As it says, drive productivity in your HR department by automating onboarding and offboarding, training management, record management, surveying, and more. Great. Hey, good night, Oracle. Blessings. So, yeah, basically, this is the sign in page, like I say. And once you sign in, as I mentioned, for me, I just click get started and then it'll ask you to whether you want to sign in as with your email, like Google email, or if you just want to put an email or password, verify your email, and then you're good to go. No, but I always recommend just using your Google Gmail or Microsoft, the easier, more straightforward way to sign up. But yeah, this is what it looks when you sign up. And I know this might look a little complex, it might look like a lot, but it's not. You just have these things, these suggestions down here. I ain't do nothing, so you're just leaving me know where I stand. I have 1,000 credits. I have it tell me how much days I have until the credits I have resets. So like I say, it's free. It's you have a limited amount of credits. Every month you get a refill on your credits and you could do whatever you want to do within your month within that amount of credits. So let me say if you decide you want to create a scenario. So that's how it's termed on Make scenario. On other sites, they call it different things like create a workflow or different ways they call it. So here, like I said, they have create scenario top right. I ain't gonna really get into all of this here on the left side options because this is just like if you in a business and you have your team, you could have everybody join your team and you could manage everybody from here. You could see the users that you have and all these different things. Upgrade your subscription and all that. So I ain't gonna get into that. We're getting into the real meat of the matter. So when you click create scenario, it brings you to a page where you could either start from scratch or start with a template. Now, if you don't know where to start, they actually have a little quiz, 2 minute tour thing that you could go through. And it gives you a little more insight so you could kind of frame your mind on what you want to do. But my suggestion would be just start with a template and it gives you a large amount of templates. So let me just click explore all templates one time. Okay, good. So in the public template section, you could scroll through and see if they have anything that interesting to you, or you could click search by app name. So let me say maybe you doing something with WhatsApp and you want to use WhatsApp. So you could filter for WhatsApp specific automation templates. So remember, these is just templates in the center, like people already put together automations, and instead of you having to build one from scratch, you could just go and see other ones that people do. And if they do one that you want to do, you could just take that template and basically adjust it to you. So meaning you'll have to connect your accounts for these different apps and so on. So yeah, that search wasn't working. So let me say, let me scroll through. So we see send a Google email from a new Google Sheet, create a basic chat bot for WhatsApp, scroll along more, add new incoming emails to Google Sheet spreadsheet as a new row. So let me say maybe if you got your business and your customers that email you and send orders by email, you could have it go into a specific Google Sheet where you could track your orders, for instance. Um, Continue. Save new Gmail attachments to Google Drive. So let me save something coming from an email in your Gmail account, the attachment, so not the whole email, but the attachment or that email would automatically go into your Google Drive. Sorry. As you continue, summarize emails with Gmail and OpenAI, sync Notion database. So some might not be familiar with Notion, but it's basically like a database account. You could keep information in it. Has a lot of capabilities, but at the bottom line. Create Canva designs with data from Google Sheets and upload to Google Drive. So with this one, let me say like for me, I does make these flyers for this podcast or maybe other designs I just make. Instead of me having to go make the design myself or having to go in Canva and do a different design, I could just get instructions. So let me say create a prompt on how I want the design to be done, and then put it in this Google Sheet. Whereas once that information go in the Google Sheet, the design would automatically be created and uploaded to Google Drive. So then I could just take it from Google Drive. I didn't even have to do the design. And it have a lot of different options. So send WhatsApp message and watch events using ChatGPT for automated responses. Create social media posts from a blog using ChatGPT. Yeah, old ChatGPT they use in there. So yeah, basically, as you could tell, they have a lot. Post new Facebook page, post to another Facebook page. That's actually a good one. You got a lot. So it's up to you. Maybe you say, you know what, I use Facebook a lot. I want to automate on Facebook. You go, you search, you could go in search and type in Facebook, and you take out what you want from Facebook. So let's say I had one I was looking at. I say I wanted to use in this. Yeah, so like I say, like we say a lot. You have a lot of options in life. You know, you don't have to do things from scratch. You don't have to reinvent the wheel because a lot of people have probably been down the road that you want to go down. So it's now to I want to show you the scenario. I want to actually build one for you. So, but one simple one. I want one of these big complicated ones. Ooh, I don't use Telegram. WhatsApp business. Let me say this one. So if you click on it, it can come up with a guided setup. So it explains you exactly how to create this automation. So you could click start guided setup and it tells you, okay, select or add your Google connection. So create a connection and you sign in with Google and bam, 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 you create that. Then you basically just follow the steps and you will have your automation created. This would be a first scenario. If you want, you could also add to it. So let me say if you wanted to do more, if you wanted to do more, you could add. You see here, add, and you choose what you wanted to do. So maybe after you go to Gmail, you wanted to send the Gmail email to Notion or store it somewhere in some database, you could do that, you know. And this runs, if you want, you could have it on a timer, or you could have it that something else triggers it. So let me say if something comes in, then it triggers it and it does it. So bottom line, that's an example of automation. Simple example. And like I say, you could use, they have a lot of different apps that you could connect to it and all these different things. So bottom line with these platforms, it works in a way that when something happens, so it has a trigger, action occurs. So let me say like a if then. So if something happens, then this happens, you know. So it's like a really simple, straightforward process. And yeah, so you could set it up how you want, whether like I say, schedule it on a timer, whether it's every day you get it to do a weather report for you, come check the weather in your area and send a report to you every morning. You could set it up to do that. Or like I say, if you want it to be on a triggered action in the sense of when an email comes in, then the email goes to a Google Sheet that stores or records all the different new emails that comes in. You know, so it has a lot of capabilities and a lot of features and a lot of things that you can do with it. But is something, especially this platform, they do it in a way that's really user friendly. Like you don't have to be so tech savvy to understand what's going on. And they explain you everything. They give you everything step by step and give you the instructions and the walkthrough for everything. So I just want to show and mention, notice how visual this one is. Notice how visual when we were doing that scenario, the icons were big on the screen, and everything like visual. You could literally see the workflow, and not all platforms like that. So they have a next one called Zapier. I'll be honest, I personally never use Zapier, but this one is very, very, very popular. Zapier, similarly, is for AI workflows. It has a lot of different features as well too, AI agents, AI chatbots, tables, everything. But this is basically an example of how a workflow in Zapier would look like. So as you can see, this one looks a lot different. I want to zoom in so I could really see what's going on here. So as you can see, this one more like techie. Let me say like that. This one more tech guy girl. Not saying it's complicated. It's still straightforward and it still have instructions to help you follow along. But as you can see, is a very clear difference. Let me go back to make back. Let me see if I'll bring me back to the home page. Okay, good. Good. So scroll down, scroll down. Let's go. It kind of look like how the automations look. Okay, let me go back to the top just so you can get to see. So basically, this moving image that we have here to the right is an example of how you could build your automations and make. So as you could see, it's visual as opposed to Zapier now, which is like a more linear, simpler really. I would say both of them very user friendly, but just a whole different layout and format. But one thing I could say with Zapier too, in my research, and was made to understand there's limited flexibility on the lower plans. So of course, let me just touch on the pricing since we there. Yeah, so like you see, we got a free version, got a professional version, $20 a month, team version, $69 a month. But yeah, the free version is free forever, and it tells you what's included, and then it tells you what the other ones include. But yeah, like I say, similar very much, but different setup, different layout. It depends on you, what you feel more comfortable with, and yeah, because bottom line, it basically gonna be the same thing in the sense of you get templates and things that you could go in and customize yourself and personalize, and yeah, like I say. So moving on to the next one. Lindy.ai. So Lindy.ai is also automation, but this one is a little different is in that this one is AI driven automation. So this is more like task delegation. And I don't know if you're familiar with the word delegation, but basically means like you give someone else the task to do for you. Now, the power with Lindy AI is that it has the autonomous behavior, it has workflow logic, and is like a delegation style AI in the sense of like this here more closer to like a AI assistant than a simple automation. This one more like you learn and let me say like maybe in the beginning you set it up to separate out your emails and organize them by importance and so on. But then as it do it a few times, it going learn the patterns and it going kind of automated behavior because they have like workflow logic. It could like make logical sound decisions. So it's still automation. It's AI powered, and with it, you able to kind of like set it and forget it. If you want, you could go check it back, or like I keep saying in the past, with these things, you can set it that it prompts you in the sense of like instead of just automatically sending whatever it want out to people, you could have it that it come to you first. So like let me say it send you a message first and tell you, hey, I put this together. Does this sound good? And then you take it from there. Check. Now, yeah, like I say, Lindy AI. So their advertising is get 2 hours back every day. Lindy is your ultimate AI assistant that proactively manages your inbox, meetings, and calendars so you can focus on what actually matters. So it's a try for free, 7-day free trial, cancel anytime. So good night, Rita. Blessings. Let me start with pricing. We'd like to know the money first. I like the advertising. They check it like, yeah, if you get a human assistant, he can be boring. You have to pay him $8,000 a month, and this is all what you gotta do. Now, Lindy AI, as it say, $20 a month for the first month. You could try it for free. If you are a business or enterprise, you could contact them and they'll give you pricing. But tells you all what it does. Draft replies in your voice, meeting scheduling, meeting recording, learns your style over time, hundreds of integrations. So meaning like how I say like you could connect like your email, your Facebook, your WhatsApp. If you use other apps for maybe a business and different things, you could connect these different things. So you make everything like one seamless like assistant. Like I say, I message with your AI assistant 24/7. So that'll be the one big thing that AI have over like human assistants, let me say. You could contact your AI and get your answers anytime, no matter the time. But yeah, so your entire work life, one text away. yeah, so like I say, very similar though to the other automation platforms I showed just now. However, this one, like I say, a little more, have a little more capabilities because it's now AI powered. So literally you could chat to it and have it do everything you want it to do. And like it says, it over time learns you and learns better ways to streamline your day. See how Lindy can streamline your workday. So yeah, I ain't gonna log into this. I ain't going to go through all of that, but I did try this out at a point in time, so that's why I can't do it again. Yeah, I did use this. I tried a 7 day free trial, but yeah. So to the next one, N8N. N8N is a platform I actually showed on this podcast before. However, back with it again. Now, N8N is a very, very powerful platform. Now, this is more powerful, but more technical than the other ones I showed. Because now this is developer level automation. Check. So this here you're dealing with like API keys and let me just say developer level configuration. So you gotta go and set up things on like these other platforms. So let me say like how I show trying to connect to maybe like your Gmail or your Google Drive or maybe even Google Sheets, all these things. It's a little more configuration, a little more technical you when you're talking about N8N. But you get more control. Like how they say, with great power comes great responsibility. Well, with more control comes more complexity. But yeah, this here is where things move from user friendly to builder level. This here is more tech savvy. So I actually use this. I had used this quite a bit, and I create a few automations using this. Let me say, for instance, I had one. They had a. I'll show you. Thinking I will show you, but basically, okay. Let me just continue, and then I'll get to the story. So how it works? Flexible AI workflow automations for technical teams. So see, telling you technical, and this is how it basically looks. So, you get an idea of the difference between, let me say, the Zapier that we go back to how that one was looking, whereas this one was like a more organizational chart structure. And then remember, this one was like a more flow, like a visual. You get your icons and thing. It looked nice like this, But now when you reach to N8N, technical. This here look technical, right? Right? Tell me if you feel this looking technical. I know it might look a little intimidating, but don't worry. Don't worry. All of us right here with you. And if this is intimidating, my recommendation to you is make that come is a great start. So how this works is, like I say, similar, straightforward automations, but now this one just a little more, the way how you set it up is different in that it's a little more technical. The other ones, they make it look nice and make it user friendly, so kind of anybody could go on and get an automation created with ease, and they explain you and show you step by step how to do everything. like I said, this one a little more technical. However, I have to make sure mention this one also has a lot of like instructions and step by step guides on how to follow through, how to get these things done. But I could tell you from experience, it is a higher level. It is like developer level. Literally, I had to go on certain of these sites that we say like ChatGPT. I had to go on OpenAI and create a developer account, get API keys from that OpenAI page. So for those who don't know, OpenAI is the name of the company that owns or created ChatGPT. So yeah, if you don't understand why you're saying, then for sure understand high level. No, but bottom line, I had to go create like a higher level, like IT level account that I could have get certain keys, like pass keys, that I could have then put into this to get the workflow created. So that's the way how you just have to like connect your platform or your integration. So in this case, integrations mean the other apps that you connect into this to make the workflow. So we say, like I said, Gmail or even the Chat GPTs, the Google Gemini, Canva, Notion, Airtable, anything that you just use that you checking you need some type of workflow to make it run smoother, make your life be smoother, save time. These things connect to, and those are integrations. Good. So I just wanted you to get a visual of how it look. And I will move forward and show you. So you see, it tells you plug AI into your own data. It has over, as it says here, 500 integration, but you can see just now has a lot more. So after you click sign in at the top right, once again, before I go into that, I'll check pricing first so you can see what you're talking. So annually, you could pay, I know how could pay in euros, I guess, because it's in euros. But anyways, they have a starter, let me just do monthly, let me say $25, $29. And then you got pro version, business version, and so on. And you get a free trial, start free trial, no credit card required. So yeah, I do a free trial, and basically this is my workspace. This is the start. So you see it say welcome all of us. So that it'll have your name there. And if you want to upgrade, you could upgrade if you want. But see it start with templates. If you want, you could start simple. You just build your first AI agent. Tell you how long it'll take to set up. Literally, if you click on it, it give you the information. So it show you how it working. See, you even get a little video tutorial from the guy who created this template. So when he created, so he sign up, just like how we sign up, went and build one, build it from scratch. So let me say if we go to overview and we decide, you know what, let me click the little plus sign and we can create a workflow. We could start from scratch. So this is starting from scratch. Zoom out a little bit. And you could click build with AI, and you could literally have AI help you build it out. So you could type what you want to do. So Let me say I want to have AI organize my Gmail email. Let me just put Gmail. You send it, thinking. As you can see, it's working. So while I'm doing that, I just want to go to this next page, whereas I basically click templates at the bottom left down here, and it brought me to this page, which had various different templates for the automation. So this is the same N8N. And if you don't want to start from scratch, if you don't want to have AI help you build it, you could just say, you know what? Let me see what other people do. And you could go through a full list. If you want, you could do it by what you need. So let me say if you want a sales template, you click sales and it can give you different options, things that you could do for sales. Same with all the rest. Also, me, like I say, I just kind of most times look for things with transactions and finances and those type things. So see, look, this is a good one. Track expenses by parsing Telegram transaction messages to Google Sheets. So basically what that does do, when you send a message in Telegram, it does take the message and put it in a Google Sheet as an expense for you. Detect transaction fraud and manage compliance. That's kind of complex, high level. That next high level one. Okay, automate financial transaction tracking with Gmail, GPT, Notion, and Telegram alerts. Automatically update Amazon transaction memos in YNAB. I know what's YNAB, honestly. So yeah, you have a lot of options. Or let me say, maybe you're checking, okay, you know what, you don't want nothing in finance, you want something with maybe support. Basic automatic Gmail email labeling with OpenAI. Yeah, so you got a lot of different options. But yeah, if you go back to this, so this here is basically the workflow. It created it. So if we scroll back up, like I say, I want to have AI organize my Gmail. I send that to the AI, so it have like a AI chatbot for N8N. How it'll work, it has helped you create your automation. I type that in and it come back. It say, I've created your Gmail AI organizer workflow. Here's what it does, how it works. Gmail trigger monitors your inbox for new email. AI agent analyzes each email and determines category, whether work, personal, newsletter, promotion, social, finance, or spam. Priority level, high, medium, or low. Suggested action, archive, star, reply, or none. Then it has a router, directs email based on the AI's recommendation. So basically, the email come in, the AI that analyze it, decide whether it's important, whether it's just a promotion from some shoe site you just follow or whatever. You can put that in like something you need that. If one come in, maybe it's a business opportunity, maybe it's a job, an email come in, high priority, put it somewhere that you could see it, So you get automated actions, star important emails, archives low priority ones, or applies category labels. Then it tell you what it need to set up. So setup required. Connect your Gmail account, credentials to the Gmail trigger, and action nodes. The AI will use OpenAI's GPT-4 model to analyze your email. So you gotta connect your AI too. And then once you've connected your Gmail account, the workflow will automatically start organizing your inbox based on the AI's intelligent categorization. Would you like me to adjust the categories, priorities, levels, or actions the AI can take? So basically, as you could see, it created for me. So if you come in here and you say, I want something to help me organize my finances, you could type it in there or whatever. If you want an automation, but you don't know exactly how to do it, where to start, you could have the AI help you. And as you can see, it literally created it. So this here is the workflow. Matter of fact, this here is the workflow. Like you could see, it says, yeah, that's course on it too. Bottom line, this first box to the left says new email received. So that's a trigger. So like we talk about triggers and actions all here, the trigger was when a new email is received. Once that happens, then the action that happens, it goes into the AI, and the action it's routed into specific folders to categorize it. So simple enough. So with that, if you maybe gotta go check your email every day, check out, okay, who this from, scrolling, maybe a bunch of promotions from all kind of different websites that maybe you don't have no care about. This could help you organize it, and yeah, like I say, you have so much other options, if you want, you could literally just peruse the templates that they have. If you don't want to build your own from scratch, but just go through and see if anything here makes sense for you. Maybe you want to market your business more and you got to find ways to market, all of that options. So bottom line, like I said, this one here, a little more technical, but I don't want you to shy away, especially if you're somebody that kind of tech savvy and you like a little challenge and a learning. You're gonna like this one. I had like this one. This was actually my favorite. I only recently started dabbling with make.com, but I ain't gonna lie. Make.com is a good platform to start with. It really user friendly, really easy to follow. But I would not be Oliver if I didn't talk about anything. Straight up. Straight up. So that being said, like I say, you create an automation. And if I was you, I would be following on my computer trying to see what I could create to one time. By the end of this episode, I would be telling you, bye Oliver. I don't create one. Like I said, it's really straightforward. You come in, You say, you know what? Okay, I want to save new Gmail attachments to Google Drive. You click on that. So this is make.com. I'm going back to make.com now. Hey, Carol, blessings. Welcome. So it gives you the full rundown. It explains you everything. Save new Gmail attachments to Google Drive. Automatically save incoming Gmail attachments in your Google Drive. This is a predefined template that will make the creation of your scenario much easier. Of course, you can always expand and customize the scenario to meet your own individual needs. And then it tells you what you need to connect. So like I say, if you want, you could start the guided setup, or you could just create a new scenario from this template. So if you check in, you like this, but you kind of want a little more, you could use this as a starting point. Or you say, you know what, this, I could do with this. You create your connection. Or you connect your email, your Gmail. Once you do that, you're going to move on to the next step. The next step would be the iterator, and then you connect your Google Drive, and then you got your automation right there. Quick. And like I said, this one a lot more user friendly, a lot more visual, so you could kind of follow easier. So also, like I said, it'll give you instructions. Even here, they're telling you could enter or select your Gmail account. So that's a connection. You gotta connect your Gmail account. If you want more information on how to create a connection to Gmail, see the online help. So if you don't understand how to do it, you could click online help here and it brings you to a page that explains you how to do what you need to do. So you see it gives you the full breakdown. Gmail is an email service, so it tell you what it is, it show you how it look, it tell you the requirements, and then it give you the instructions on how to make the connection. Connect Gmail and Make. To get started, you must first create a connection between Gmail and Make, allowing the two services to communicate. So you log into Make, you click Create a Connection. If you want, you could enter a name, additional scope field, could add your required API, that's optional. And then click sign in with Google. If prompted to authenticate your account, confirm and access. And that's it. Right there, you're done. You go back, say okay, you do that, you finish. Criteria for all emails are only unread emails. And once you create that one done. Then you can move to the next one. And like I say, it give you the instructions. You follow the instructions, and by the time you're done, you got full automation created. So like I say, maybe you're checking in a while, you have a lot of emails coming in, and it'll be hard for you to keep track and organize your emails. Automation is a big help. It could literally parse meaning like separate them, categorize them for you. And then now you could just go into those categories or folders or groups and go through the ones you have to. So yeah, like I say, the instructions, and I just want to show and point out the same for N8N. So let me say on N8N, if I zoom in here now, go back over. So same thing. Gmail for this, I gotta connect my I gotta connect my Gmail for it to work. Okay. Click yes. So same thing. I gotta select credentials. I gotta create new credentials. So I gotta add my Gmail account. Bottom line. Now, when I click here and click create new, it asking you for something specific. Now, you could click here, and if you need help filling out these fields, you could open a document. So you click open document, and it'll open a whole nother page that explains you. So this is what it needs. This document contains instructions for creating a Google credential for a single service. There's also available a video. Good. So if you want to read through it and do it and follow the instruction, you can watch the video too. Good. Good. It's showing you. So as you go through the instructions, they give little visual things to show you what you gotta look for, where you gotta click on, where you gonna bring you, and what you gotta do. Give you the full rundown. So once you follow this, and like I say, you got a video to do it, setting up Google OAuth, which is automation credentials, not automation, authentication. Sorry, my bad. And then yeah, once you follow the instructions, you get what you need, you fill in, and then you click sign in. And then you click save. And once you make that connection, yeah, close. Once you make that connection, then this can show up as green. You ain't gonna have a red X no more. And then you just follow the same thing with all the rest of them. So you gotta add your ChatGPT model. So same thing, you gotta create your credentials. So go and authenticate to connect your AI and all the different platforms that you want to connect to this. And like I say, you have instructions for all of that. And once you go through it, then you click execute workflow to test it, make sure it's running, and you go to go. So like I say, they had one of these. I had do when I was dabbling with anything in the beginning. I mainly was focused on transactions, like tracking financial transactions. So whether it be, we say I go spend some cash, I go buy something, whether by Ace or in supermarket, it had one of the templates that you could just send a simple message into a chat. So whether on Telegram or on your WhatsApp, you could send a message and it will automatically go into a Google Sheet as well, like an Excel sheet, a spreadsheet, as a transaction. So it'll have the description. So whether you put, okay, I buy wire by Ace, it'll put a description, the price, however much, like whether it's an expense or income, like, so it had some good capabilities, so same situation. I had to connect my Google so that it could go in my Google Drive in a Google Sheet. I had to connect, I think it was Telegram. And yeah, connect my ChatGPT. No, I don't think that one was using no AI. Yes, it did, because it had to analyze the information you put in the message to see what you had to put into the Google Sheet. And then, yeah, I executed it. I tested it on my phone. I literally went into Telegram and type in spent however much doing whatever, and I checked back in the spreadsheet, and it was there. So it works. It makes your life easy. So let me say, you have your business, maybe you making sales, a lot of sales, and it's hard for you to keep track. Maybe that's a big help, because then instead of you having to go and stop and write down every time, you could just, or yes, you're gonna have to write down every time, but you could just put it into, let me say, this chat, and then it'll automatically go into a spreadsheet, and now you could use to keep as your records, you know. Anyways, like I said, this is information, instructions, but I have one more thing I want to show, which is ClickUp. ClickUp now is slightly different, but still the same. Now, ClickUp is primarily a project management tool, but the automation inside of it is very powerful. You know, with ClickUp is more task-based automations. So let me say they have things like status changes when triggering actions, but this helps really with team management efficiency, because now let me say, like, when we go inside, you're gonna see how it looking, and it really helps with like managing team tasks and like assigning tasks to people. So like I talked about delegation. It's like, okay, we need to do this. So like in the class I was in last week, we talked about putting things in a Gantt chart, and yeah, basically this is the brains I'm telling you. So ClickUp, like I said, primarily a project management tool, but the automation inside is very powerful, you know. So if I had to click login, I can go in and log me in. Yeah. So simple example of what I mean about logging in with your email. Simply. So yeah, in this is not the team I want to check. I want, people business. Matter of fact, I should contact that. So basically, just to explain you what I have here, these are tasks. So all of these are different tasks. Now I put it in this format because that's how I choose to do it, in a sense of like I put Q1, you got Q2 task, Q3, Q4, and so on. And how it is, I could come in here, and let me say, if maybe this is something that I need to assign to Rita, I could just click here and assign it, invite people via email. And I could assign it to somebody else. You check? So now, if you have your business and you have maybe a team of people, even if it's one or two people, you could use ClickUp and put the tasks in. And then now, let me say, if you are see it as a board, you could see it as a board. You could also have different views. So maybe you want to put it in the Gantt chart. Whereas now you could see it as like a, see, so I want to see what going on, Okay, so understand this is because it's in quarterly view, that's why it's looking so. But bottom line, think on it like this. Let me say maybe you have your business, maybe you selling juice or you selling coconut water, you selling whatever. Let me use my coconut water station as an example. Let me say I selling coconut water. I checking, okay, you know what? In February, they had Friendside Carnival, they got Valentine's, Black History Month, Heineken Regatta coming up this month. You could consider what events they have. So let me say, I say, you know what? April have Carnival, and I want to make sure I prepare everything I need for Carnival time. I could put a task into this, whereas it'll show up on the calendar, but then if I delegate it to a team member, it'll show up on their calendar as well. And then once they complete the task, they'll click that they do it, and then it'll show up on everybody's calendar as, okay, it done. So now this is a good way to keep track of everything you have to do. And then now you put it in a list, so you have you list all the things you have to do. Then now if you want to see it in a like a kind of timeline for format, so meaning like you want to get an idea of, okay, when you should do it, you could now use a Gantt chart to put it in a date. So even in a list form, I could come in and say, okay, let me say, maybe this one. As you can see, this one ain't really have no information. It just have the description, but it don't have like no start date, no due date, no priorities, no person who's assigned, no tracking, nothing. Now you could add another description, you could add custom fields if you want, add attachments. So let me say maybe if you create this task for somebody, or like you have a video about the task. Maybe like you tell somebody, okay, I need you to come and mix some juice for me. But you have a video on how you just do it. You could attach that file here. And you could create a checklist for them. So let me say if they decide, if you decide, to make this juice, you have to first sanitize your station, prepare your equipment, gather everything, all the ingredients you need, blah, blah, blah. You create a checklist so you can make sure everything is being followed. And yeah, once it's done, the person can mark it as complete. So now let me say this one has a date because this is an event. So they have SXM Festival in March in St. Martin on the French side. I just put a rough average of the dates late in this month, and yeah, so like I say, you could go in, customize it how you want, add a subtask if you want. You could relate it to something else. So let me say if this is dependent on another one, you could add the dependencies and all of that good stuff. So it gives you a lot of capabilities, a lot of options, and a lot of flexibility, but a lot of connection and bringing together various different platforms, just like how these other ones do. So, like I said, similarly, it has automations. So, automatically keep your task up to date by auto filling task, custom fields. So, yeah, create a AI field, So basically in here you could create the automations and all that good stuff. Create automation, you could add your trigger, so your task would be a trigger, and then now you could put your action. So maybe if you want, you could have it go to like a airdrop, not airdrop, air table, or like you could choose where you want. So just know this also had automations, agents, and a lot of features, a lot of capabilities. Very, very, very good. And just know, like how I was talking about my execute with excellence framework, these things are tools that tie directly into that, because these are the systems and the automations that bring you from a start to an actual scaled business. So that being said, I am finished with all the demonstrations, but I still have a few things I want to say. If we have to zoom out and really look at this from a bigger picture, automation is how you build systems. And also, like I mentioned, with my coconut station operation, using these certain tools could help you automate tasks, could help you keep track of tasks and manage your things better. Even let me say with consulting workflows or client onboarding, content publishing, that's something that I personally feel this is very powerful part, because let me say, like, if you somebody like me who does do this podcast every week, you have to post and promote and these things all the time. So let me say, like, for me, I just have to post on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on WhatsApp. So uh, automation to, let me say, take my flyer and text and automatically post it on these platforms in a proper manner, meaning like it come out in a proper format, it posts how it's supposed to. That's powerful. That's saving so much time. I could tell you. I could tell you. So content publishing, that there in itself is something that this is really, really useful for. One word of advice I'll give you is, most times, depending on the platform you want to use these automations for, they usually work more with like pages. So let me say, like Facebook, they work with like Facebook pages as opposed to like your personal profile. Same for like WhatsApp. That's one of my biggest problems right now, because I don't have WhatsApp business, and people might say, yeah, but it's easy to get WhatsApp business. You just download and transfer everything. But I have another problem in that my WhatsApp is full, so I can't back it up to transfer. It's a whole rigmarole, you know. So unfortunately for me, anything I want to do WhatsApp related right now with my current WhatsApp, then I can't like do no automations because I don't have WhatsApp business. I actually, using N8N, worked on creating a connection to the normal WhatsApp, but I'll be honest, and I didn't succeed. But we don't give up, man. When there's a will, there's a way, And yeah, that was just kind of like a workaround, being as I can back up the WhatsApp. But yeah, for sure. Bottom line, these things powerful. Even data tracking, like I say, if maybe you just do like surveys, or maybe like I show you want track your finances, or you want track tasks that you do. All these things is things that are these tools help, and are powerful tools to help maximize your time and productivity. Because time is our greatest asset now. Time is the greatest thing we have. Check, so we don't realize how we just waste it just sitting down, doing nothing, doing the thing, certain things over and over, things that we could have done, streamline and make life easier for. So that being said, I want you to see yourself using these platforms. So this is my practical advice to you. Because I know, if you sit on here and you watch these platforms I show, you might be a little overwhelmed, depending on who you are. You might watch it and say, wow, what's all that this man showing? But like I say, to me at least, the make that come for sure easy. That's easy, straightforward, simple connections, not like anything. What? Like I say, some people might have watched this and feel overwhelmed. And I don't want you to feel that way. Understand, it is not, it is not rocket science. Check. It is not so complicated. And on top of that, it gives you the instructions for everything. They hold your hand and walk you through everything. Every single section you have to do. Check. So the practical advice I'll give to you is this. You don't have to automate everything at once. Start with one repetitive task, one thing that you just do all the time that okay, if I automate that, that gonna free up a lot of my time. Start there. If you want, you can map it out on paper first. That's my recommendation. Check. And then automate it. Do it. Just do it. Don't say you're going to do it, sit down, write it on a paper, and then don't ever get to it. No. I want you to execute. We're in our season of execution. So I want you to execute. Check. So I guess you could say my homework for you tonight is try it. If you ain't open up your laptop or whatever device you have and start dabbling with any of these platforms, I want you to really check and see which one really stands out to you the most. Just try it. Like I say, you don't have to do everything at once. Rome was not built in a day. Even God ain't build a wall in a day. Check. So we don't have to do everything all at once. Piece by piece, step by step. So take it one step at a time. Find one task that you could automate. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you got going in your life that you need automated. We all unique. Check. But I just showing you this as a tool that you could use to help you move forward in life. Free up some time so that you could do other more valuable things, whether make more money, whether spend more time with your family, whatever it is. So yeah, that's my recommendation to you. Check. Bottom line, to really sum it up, like I say, AI is the thinking leverage. Now, automation is the operational leverage. Systems beat hustle all the time. You check things like these is how you just avoid burnout, is how you just avoid stress. Like I say, systems beat hustle, structure beat stress. I say that all the time. That's my execute with excellence framework. So I'm curious to know, what are you doing manually that you shouldn't be doing manually? What is one thing that you doing manually now that you could automate? I'm curious to know. So that being said, that's all I gotta say on this topic. You know, I I really appreciate you for joining, taking the time out, checking this out. I know you're here because somehow this have value for you, and I'm glad I could be able to provide value to your life, you know, in a way that's pleasing to you and in service to my Father God, or the other way around, pleasing to God and in service to you. Check so. Yeah, that being said, my people, we're in another month. This year moving fast. I guess all of them. But yeah, time. We gotta do what we could to preserve our time and maximize our time. And with the grace of God, you know, God bless. We gonna be good. We got the tools. All we gotta do is use them. You know, it's just like if you want to build your house, you need a drill, right? You need concrete. You need material. You need things to get the job done. So that's what we just doing now. We getting the job done, plain and simple. Plain and simple now. We getting the job done now, right? We handling business, right? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So blessings to you on this day, the 2nd of March. And yeah, like I say, I hope this brought value to you. If it did, tell a friend. Don't keep it to yourself because it might be able to bring some value to somebody else too. Maybe you ain't use it, but then somebody else might check it out and say, "What? This is what I needed all the time." I thank you for sharing that with me. You check, and yeah, we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta do what we can. You know, we gotta do what we can before we do we. So yeah, bottom line, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know, like, subscribe, comment, share, do all that good stuff. All of that good stuff. And faithfully every week I hear. So tell it to them. Go tell it on the mountain. Hey, okay, God. Tell it to them. Anyways, yeah, that's done. As all you know, I'm pushing to get my YouTube to 1,000 subscribers. So, yeah, tell a friend. And don't worry, I know I sitting down checking, but Oliver, where is Ife? We want Ife back. I know. I respect that. Thank you for telling me. I know that. But what? She a busy woman, but she will be back. Trust and promise in that. Check. She will be back soon too. Not no long way. I hope you joined her event that she had last week, 26, Thursday. Hope you joined. It's very insightful. If you didn't join it, we have part of it on her page, both Facebook and Instagram too, I think. Facebook and LinkedIn. Let me just leave it like that. Yeah. if you're coming back for sure, like I tell her, yo, I have some other interviews lined up. So just know, good things in store, but I got this AI business here getting through it here first. No, we gotta handle business first. We basically got a little AI series here going. Little AI and automation things going. So yeah, we deal with. But yeah, blessings. I hope you have a blessed night ahead, a blessed week ahead, productive, prosperous, conquering lion, spirited, and yeah, go out and conquer. See you here again next week. You know, reach out if you need me. All of us here. Check love alone. Blessings, my people. Have a good evening, and I will see you again next week.